Hey everybody, Jennifer Bullock here, realtor in Wilmington, North Carolina. I've got my two friends, Ryan in Las Vegas and Hope in Austin, Texas. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank y'all for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jennifer.
Absolutely. Hope I got to spend last week with your parents. It was super cool. Only talked to them in passing, but they're always nice.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're fun. But real quick, trying to go over trends that you guys are seeing, real estate trends. And Ryan had asked, and it was a great question of who our target audience is. And our target audience are buyers and sellers, and trying to figure out these real estate trends as they cross the nation. Point being, so that we can best set up our buyers and sellers for accurate expectations and studying the trends so that we can learn what they are by our top agents like the two of you.
Sounds good.
So we'll start with you, Ryan. And you were telling me a little bit before,
Yeah.
but what is it that you're seeing?
So our market has softened tremendously since May, especially. The absorption rate, for instance, I looked up really quick. It was a total of 120% in April and has dropped down to 25% for August. And real quick explainer of that, if there are 10 homes that go on the market in Las Vegas, or let's say it's 100 homes, how many, there's 100 homes available, how many sold in that same time period? So in April, 120 homes sold for every 100 homes that came on the market. When you move to August, that's dropped down to 25. So every 100 homes available, 25 sold. So there has been a major shift. But as a part of that, what's interesting is there are 4 buyers that are constantly moving in and out of areas, for various reasons, buying and selling. For buyers, there's been some really, really good deals that are available. So it's all about the reason for a move, and then working with buyers and sellers to be able to help them accomplish that for where they are.
That's right. And Ryan, you've been in the industry 19 years?
23.
Wow.
Yeah,
You've been in the industry a long time.
I've been doing it a while.
You have been doing it.
Yeah. So I've seen and gone through very, very different markets. Obviously, the 08 and all of that followed, and markets before that were strong and steady. And I am hopeful, and I believe from what I see, and it's a guess, it's a look into a crystal ball, but I think that we're moving. I believe and hope that we're moving towards a more balanced market come next year. So that's what I've kind of seen from the data that I look at and just talking to people. So
That's wonderful. And what are you seeing, Hope, in Texas?
We also saw a major shift. Probably, I felt it on a couple of listings starting around Easter weekend. And then I think it just kind of progressively shifted to where we are now. There's still a lot of movement in our market. So I've been looking at our daily hot sheets, and today, for example, we had 41 active properties, 54 go pending, and 70 close. And that's been a pretty consistent trend I'm seeing in these numbers, like daily, is that every day we have more properties in total being closed on and going pending than we do actively hitting the market.
Wow.
Now, the biggest number in those hot sheets that a lot of people are not discussing is the number of price reductions. So, today we had more price reductions than we did anything else. That was the highest number there, which, that is indicative of the market shift.
Right.
However, I agree with Ryan. I think we're headed back towards a more balanced market. And that's something that is good for the all long-term health and stability of our market here. In Austin in January, our inventory was down to 0.4 months of inventory.
Wow.
And we're back up to about 4 months of inventory now. But, in my opinion, as long as the seller is taking the pricing strategy extremely seriously and following your advice, they're going to find the right buyer. I just had a property that went in multiple offers over the last weekend. And then for buyers, I think buyers need to be getting excited about the market because they finally have some power in negotiations and stuff again. And they can, wait more than 2 hours to make a decision.
I think I am with you. Our market softened a little bit, not quite as much as yours. We have like 1.5 months of inventory right now. But instead of things going under contract in 5 seconds, they're now taking 10 to 15 days, which as the buyer, 100% agree with you. It gives them a little bit of time, breathing time. They can actually look
Yeah.
at a home, maybe 2 homes, 3 homes before making that decision. And then as the seller, I also agree with both of y'all. I think as the seller, it is still, at least here, it's a still pretty steady, hot market. And as long as it's no longer where a seller can just, throw it at the wall and hope to get the price. And it's not like that. But I think if you price it aggressively and listen to your agents, I think that's to Hope's point, you're still getting multiple offers.
I have a good case point for that. I had clients that were moving back to Las Vegas from Pennsylvania, and they initially thought that they would be moving at the beginning of the summer, but when they listed their house there in Pennsylvania, things took a little bit longer than normal to sell there, and that was fine. And we worked together the whole time. When I first set up the search for them for the criteria, a total of 3 properties matched their criteria at that time, which is really, really difficult, of course. By the time that they were able to come out last month, they had something close to 40. We actually spent a weekend and looked at 22.
Wow.
And they were able to write an offer that got accepted it was listed at $1,050,000. We wrote it $1 million, or we got it accepted at $1 million. And the appraisal came back at 1.1, which is just incredible. I thought that was wonderful. So there is some, there's a chance to get some great pricing on houses and have a little bit of selection like you're talking about. Had it been the market in the spring, they would have looked at 1 or 2 houses maybe, and we would have been, against multiple offers. We would have been writing an offer that, afternoon rather than evening or the next day. There had been no time to think. So it does ease up a little bit for the buyers as well, to give them some selection, give them some time to think through, some benefits that way for sure.
And I think it helps us as agents too, to help position our buyers and sellers where you actually have time to do the research and do the background on each property so that we could accurately tell them, give them advice. Because before it was like, let's just type it up as fast as we can. And, so now I think it's fun because we're actually doing our jobs as super awesome realtors and to best position our buyers and sellers.
Absolutely.
Ryan, and I truly, every time I see you, I'm always like, he's born and raised in Vegas. That is amazing to me. But what is your average price point in Vegas?
For me personally, my average tends to be about 400,000. Although I work, at the same time I was working a $1 million sale, I was working a $175,000 condo sale. So I work the entire market. I'm primarily referral based. And so whatever that means, whatever area of the Las Vegas Valley, I'm happy to work and have worked in the past and comfortable with it. So I don't specialize outside of specializing on my clients. Right. And, helping them with whatever that they need. So, yeah.
That's a right on answer. What about you, Hope? What's your average in Austin?
The average overall in Austin for August was right around 625. My average sell price this year so far is right around 750.
Good for you. That's awesome. And do you help both buyers and sellers, or do you have a specialty?
I do help both buyers and sellers. I was a buyer's agent for many years. And while I do a lot more listings now, I still love helping buyers. There's definitely a fulfillment that comes out of helping people with that process, whether they're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned home buyer.
I would 100% agree with both of what you said. I definitely don't look at price points. I mean, our average price point here is $415, but when I help people, I was a prior school teacher. I just like helping people. In general, absolutely. I like buyers and sellers. And at the end of the day, if you put their needs ahead, and I think, my one takeaway from the conference last week was that people always buy and sell, no matter what the market's like.
Absolutely.
People historically always buy and sell. And I think as long as we educate ourselves and follow the national trends, then we're putting ourselves in the best position to help our people.
Sure. And especially I'll add to that with this shifting market too. I mean, even the most seasoned of home buyers need our guidance. And I think, for that reason, it's just extremely important to keep ourselves up to date with what's going on in our specific markets. And then to be a resource for our clients, for anyone out there that's looking for help during this process.
That's right. No, I 100% agree with you. So in wrapping up, what would you say in general about your market? We'll start with you, Ryan.
Okay, good. I would say my market, and I'll try to make it brief. I've been telling buyers and sellers both that the price decreases, we've lost about 3% over the summer per month. But most of those decreases, we are still over on our average sales price for Las Vegas, higher than where we started at the beginning of the year. So I've kind of likened it to cutting the foam off the top of a beer. Some of that buildup in prices over the spring was a little bit unbalanced. And so taking that off really doesn't impact most of the buyers and sellers, even those that purchased earlier this year or last year, getting it down to a balance that matches where the cost of living is for the average home buyer in Las Vegas or the average owner in Las Vegas. So, and like I said, as I'm seeing trends, and what I think I'm seeing is moving towards a more of a balanced market next year when things settle down. There's always an initial fear of buyers that will pull back when they see everything change or the interest rates go up dramatically quick, in a short period of time. And then everybody settles into it and says, okay, but I still need to buy a house, or I still want to buy a house. And sellers, hey, I still want to sell a house. So
yeah, and I think, and I didn't prepare you for this, so I apologize. But I think too, when you're buying a house, if you don't look at it as like, how much money am I going to make today, tomorrow? But most people live in a house 5 to 7 years. And it is solid investment. If you look at what your average price point was 5 or 7 years ago, I mean, our average price 7 years ago, I only know because I bought a house, was $250,000, and now it's $415,000.
Absolutely, and that's what I've been talking with my clients about, even in the spring. So let's say in the spring you bought it, what was for right now this market, maybe the height of the market. Well, the vast majority of the buyers that were buying in that top of the market, they just sold in the top of the market, right? So they made all kinds of money, much more than they ever expected on the sale of their property. And they moved most of that, if not all of that money, over into their new purchase. So in reality, they're doing fine. The vast majority of my buyers are putting more than 20% down. There's cushion there because there's cushion from the sale that they had before.
That's exactly right. Hope, what about you?
I'm like Ryan, I'm excited about going back towards a more balanced market. Our average prices have also just soared. But we still have, and this was a stat that just came out in the last week or so, 146 people per day coming into the Austin metro area. So we still have a ton of growth. Our occupancy for rentals is at over 97%.
Wow.
And the rents are not cheap. We still have a lot of people moving into the city that are going to need places to live. A lot of those people have money to put down, or to pay cash for that matter. But I think we're just going to see a more stabilized appreciation year over year than we've been seeing. So maybe 3 to 5% rather than 17% year over year. But I think that it's just going to kind of stabilize, and I think it's going to be good for both buyers and sellers.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And in that stabilization, everything that I've been reading and researching is that when it hits that stable market, it stays there for several years. So I don't see, in my opinion, it is a great time to buy. There are opportunities out there that you didn't have 6 months ago. Sellers are still, we're still higher, 15% higher than we were last year, 20% higher than the year before that. So people still have equity in it, and people are still buying and selling.
Yeah. Well, Sam and I just bought a house and closed in July, and really our thought was that's one of the safest places we can put our money. It's a great hedge against inflation, and it's a way for us to build our future wealth for our future family. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, we feel super confident about it, and, being an experienced agent, obviously, I feel comfortable advising clients that yes, now is a good time to buy.
Fabulous. I 100% agree. Well, thank you guys. It's always good seeing y'all, and I'm tired. I'm sure y'all are. But thank you for your time and your energy this evening.
Thank you for having me.
You guys.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.